Hey y'all, this is TCA Gaming. In this video, we're not actually going to be opening up stuff. We're going to go through a pretty cool set, one of the first sets ever released for Pokemon. I do have some of the background still set up. This is where I had just, like less than an hour ago, opened up that Trico Gold Star. I know it was probably a day or two ago from whenever this video was released. But if you guys are looking for sealed booster packs, I have unweighed, light, and heavy on my website, tcagaming.com, down there in the description. You guys don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out the ratings and gets views up and keeps me motivated to continue to make videos every single day. I know a lot of you say you watch it pretty regularly, and saying that you do it with family and stuff, that kind of gets to me. I can definitely relate to something like that. So I'm going to go over a Topsun set that I just purchased off of someone. We were going to do it at a little bit higher price, but I found some issues with the cards themselves. But overall, this is still a really nice set. Just a little bit of background. If you look at the bottom, it says 1995. These were actually, I believe, released in 97 around March or so. There are a couple different variations. You got blue back and you have green back. These are the greenback. People believe the greenbacks are later, but as far as I know, I don't think there's absolute proof of that. I could be wrong. I'm not an expert on this set. Like I said, it's called Topsun. It's considered one of the very first trading card sets that was released for Pokemon. Some variants don't have the numbers up here. These all, I believe, have the numbers on them. I think, and on bluebacks, it may be a little bit more common. Maybe that's why people think it is. Again, I'm not too sure on it, but this is a full set. I'm going to go through the first 150, and then I'm also going to go through the prisms, which can get really, really expensive if you have them in perfect condition. So you'll notice that some of these artworks are just like the English side. Some of them are a little bit unique or a little bit different. I like these cards. I think there's a lot of appeal to them, even though they're in Japanese. The Pokemon's big. I mean, there's a lot of focus on that. Then you have all these other Pokemon in the background. I mean, you got like a Venomoth, an Onix, Geodude, Staryu. You got all kinds of different things going on there. That may even be like a Lickitung, maybe. I'm not sure what that one is. Could be Squirtle, I guess. I think that's a Cubone. You got a Pikachu, and they look a little different, And there was a reason we skipped over the Charizard. I do have that one. That Blastoise, that's classic base set Blastoise, so there's nothing new there. You got Caterpie, Metapod, which, like I said, a lot of you thought he was looking that way and his one eye was mad, but I mean, that's got to be clearly another eye right there to me, but who knows, maybe we'll never know. We've got Butterfree, Weedle, Kakuna, there's Beedrill looking pretty cool. Got Pidgey, Pidgeotto, Pidgeot, Rattata, Raticate. I don't know how many of you have the Pokédex numbers memorized, but for me, I pretty much have them memorized, like, what Pokemon is and the number, mainly because of evolutions, how many 151 sets I've made, how many times I've read these cards. Some of them, I would miss some of them in the middle for sure, but like the beginning ones and the end ones, I could about recite, in order. Maybe I'll do that one day. Maybe we'll do something like that. That'd be kind of cool. So we got Oddish, Gloom, Vileplume, Paris. Now, if you want to get into some that are have really cool artworks, I think the ones that are officially labeled like 1997 on the bottom, I don't know if they're the Cardass. That's it. That's what they are. The artworks are super unique. And as for these definitely don't compare to the artworks on those. They've got prisms and stuff like that. Most of these are looking just like the base set ones. Maybe I was mistaken with that Venusaur. I didn't think I think the tilt was different on the English side. There's old Kadabra. Don't see many of those anymore. Bellsprout. Got some color differences. And I'll show you guys the prisms after I go through all original 150. And I think you'll appreciate that, because some of those prisms, they definitely have different artworks. But that Rapidash is different. I know the Rapidash from Jungle is not like that. But you can get into some real expensive cards there. Now, I don't know if there's like complete PSA 10 sets out there. I would assume there is, but from what I can tell, any of the prisms in PSA 10, they go for a hefty amount of money. Even the Charizard, the Unlimited, PSA 10 is pretty expensive. The no number ones, like there are Charizards without numbers in the top corner. And man, they can get super expensive. Now, in between the non-hollows and the prisms, I am going to show you another Wizards of the Coast item. I promised you guys that in a previous video, that I was going to try to show some of those items that I got off of this one guy. Again, this was from, if you guys watched Pokemon Revolution, he had a video where he reached out and did something like that. And, you know, it just pushed me to reach out to one of my contacts. And lucky enough, you know, sometimes you're just lucky. He was like, yeah, I've got some stuff. And he sold it to me, and he had it in the mail the next day. So, I mean, it worked out really great. If you notice right here, Jinx has a black face. Blackface Jinx was banned. If you want to look into all that, you can. But you won't, all the Jinx that are printed now pretty much have purple faces. Gyarados, you got a Ditto, Eevee, you got the original evolutions of Eevee. It's kind of making my hand get a little sore. Feel it in my shoulder more than anything. Got Snorlax and Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, got Dratini, Dragonair, Dragonite, Mewtwo. And this is a pretty nice set. It did have some issues, like I noticed with the non-holo sets. Like if you look right there, it's got a crease across the side, and like you would never tell, you know, that has a crease. You know, looking at it straight on, you have to flash these cards and see where there's a break in the surface or a dent of some sort. See if we can see anything on the Dragonite. I believe on this one I saw something specifically, maybe in the back corner, because they have whitening around the edges, pretty prevalent. And for me, this is a little bit more tough because I'm holding the card out about 12 inches in front of my face, and then like the Mewtwo's peeling up a little bit on the bottom side. But overall, I mean, this is a pretty nice set. I'm probably going to put it in a binder. Just keep it out. I've had so many cards that are Topsuns that you would think would do really good at PSA. They just don't. I mean, it's just, there's so many little things that could mess them up. They're delicate. Now, I think they originally come in gum wrappers. So here's the Charizard. This one's actually pretty good. If I remember correctly, there's a little bit of wear on the back side. But this one in a PSA 10, I mean, it's pretty expensive. I think it's over $1,000. Or at least that's what people try to ask for. You know, being, you know, some of the very first cards, they're not super rare. You can still find the sealed packs. In fact, I had someone offer me a sealed box of these. I didn't take them up on it. I think you only get one prism per 20 packs, and then some of the, like the oldest boxes don't even have prisms in them. So here's the Nidoking, number 34. Definitely pretty cool artwork. Kind of reminds me of the Koro. There we got Zapdos. Again, the backs are a little different. They've got, you know, this stuff going on. Like, I don't even know if you could send this one to PSA. I mean, you see how it's shifted? Like, it's tilted. Like, it wasn't printed on there straight. So I don't even think this one's gradable at PSA, because a lot of times they send that kind of stuff back. Next up, we have Articuno. Very first set, put out all 150 cards, plus foils of the Pokemon. You know, I mean, it's really neat. It's a cool way to release Pokemon. You got Moltres. Yep, we do have Eevee. It didn't focus just on the big rare holographic cards. Got Blastoise. This is an example of a card that looks mint when you first, you know, check it out. But there is a spot on it. Let's see if I can find it. You're going to look right here. You can see it catching the flash just a little bit. It almost looks like someone grabbed the card like this, and then they pushed in a little bit too much with their finger, and then that caused that slight indentation. All the way across right through there, like a little rainbow. These, like I said, these cards are very delicate. I have a tendency to use top loaders or something else with the hollows. There's Dragonite. You got Jolteon, Vaporeon, Machamp, a Flareon, Mewtwo. Oh yeah, there we go. Which I think he's slightly peeling on this corner. Very, very light, but you can see it. Then you have Nidoqueen. There's the Pikachu, and then the card that basically makes or breaks the set you have the Charizard. And I tell you what, this one's a pretty good copy. It has 2 issues with it, from what I can tell. I'm going to pull it out so you guys can see it. It does have a print line right through here. But the good thing about this print line is it goes in between Pokemon. So you can't really tell. And the other issue is right, where's it at? There it is. See that little ink dot? Now I'm hoping it gets lost because I may just grade this Charizard, and I hope it just gets lost in the background and PSA does not see it. But that definitely is, you know, an ink dot. I don't think it detracts from the overall appeal of the card, so it may get overlooked, kind of like with that Typhlosion, it just kind of got overlooked. But very nice set. You know, I've never actually had a complete one in my personal set, so I'm going to be setting this one back. I'm going to try to grade maybe a few of the cards. The hollows I want to grade just because they're so much more delicate than the non-hollows. But it's pretty cool. Oh, you know, I forgot to show that Wizards of the Coast item in between. So for those of you who've been waiting patiently or possibly saying some raw words towards me in the comments, let me show that. I'm gonna have to move this stuff. So this is something that PokeRev actually had himself. I think his was in better condition than mine, but still it's really cool. I mean, it's got this giant Wizards of the Coast logo right over it. It's a silver lunchbox. It's definitely bigger than the lunchbox tins they put out now, and you can see where it says crayons in there. I'm probably just gonna leave it on there. I kind of like it. And look at that handle. I mean, it is made very well. It's not like those other ones. I mean, you could put some weight on that thing. But what's cool is there was actually some stuff inside. It was not like his same stuff. I'm not even sure what these things are. They're Pokemon Super Mario 8-bit Scramble. So maybe I'll just open one. Let's see if I got a double of any of them. There's a Pikachu, question marks, it's a mystery. Super Mario, Charmander, Mewtwo, and Squirtle. Oh man, it's kind of hard to open any of those. I mean, you got the 3 starters, Pikachu, Mewtwo, and then a mystery. So maybe I'll just leave those sealed. I don't even know what they are. They're probably worthless, but I thought it was pretty cool to find that in there. And this whole thing smells like crayons, so it was definitely well loved. It was used for exactly what the front of it says, crayons. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Check back in tomorrow, 12 o'clock.